Hey guys, it's Cal from the Lighting Doctor here. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this consultation series. We're going to give you all kinds of tips and tricks for effectively and properly lighting up your home. If you want to get your free consultation, just shoot me an email at cal@lightingdoctor.ca. Send me a few pictures and we'll give you a video presentation of what lights are going to work best with your property, or go and visit us at lightingdoctor.ca or go check out all our videos on YouTube.
Hey, David, thanks for sending the pictures here. I like the idea of doing the front and the backyard zones, and the easiest way to do that is just two separate transformers, and then if you use like a smart Wi-Fi plug, an outdoor one, we can provide you with that, but then you can run them both off the same app, but you can run them as two totally separate zones. But I'll just kind of walk you. I saw your suggestions and stuff, and I'll just kind of give you some ideas of some different things that I would do. One is the pergola there. One of my favorite lights in an area like that is something like this guy here. These hanging down lights. They basically just hang on the top of that pergola and shine some nice light down. I would probably try and put, I would probably try and do one in the middle there, and then I would probably try and even hang two over here. They're not overpowered. They're not super bright. It's a really nice, comfortable, subtle light. I would do that for the areas like that. The nice thing is they have a long lead wire on them, which I think it's like 25 feet long, so you can just easily hide the wire along the side and make all your connections in the ground, which I like. On the deck area like this, I think you'd kind of mentioned lighting up these grasses. I like that idea. I would probably try and use a light like this, so more of a wash light, which is just a bit of it's a subtler light. It's a wider angle light. It's not as bright, as intense as some of these guys, which is just a standard accent light. But if you go and place that just kind of in front of, even if you just did two of these grasses, what I like about it is it kind of casts some shadows back on the deck area here, and like you said, it'll give you a little bit of reflective light down on this area too. And it wouldn't be the worst thing if you did all three of these grasses with a light like that, because it's not super bright, it's not super overpowering, but it's a cool look because you kind of create those shadows and that casting. And then I think you had also mentioned around the fire pit area using just some standard path lights like these guys here. I like that idea. I like using something like this that kind of conceals the light so you don't see it, and what it does is it just it casts that light down on the rock wall you have here, as well as because you have the light colored rock, you get a lot of reflective light off that. So and I think I can kind of see where you had placed some of them. Another rule that you might want to follow is anywhere you can kind of place it next to these bigger boulders is good too, because it kind of makes them stand out a little bit. A path light like this guy, which is on about a 12-inch riser, you can space those 8 to 12 feet apart. It's not so important that you light up the whole area, as you just try and keep a consistent spacing between between all the lights. So whether it's 3, 4, or 5 of them, or 6 or 8, just try and get a consistent spacing is kind of what looks most natural there. Yeah, so I like that for the back. The house and how you want to light that, if you wanted to just focus on that area with those lights, I think that would be a really, really good start. I don't think you need to add a ton more. And then I would focus some up lights, so just some accent lights like this guy to really help the brickwork of the house stand out, the entryways and some different areas like that. So rather than just trying to light some of the landscape, I'm a huge fan of trying to light some of the house too and make it stand out. So what I would do there, I'd probably try and get an accent light somewhere in here and kind of behind this bush and highlight this top section, this window section here, and really highlight this brickwork. I would have another one here, and I would have another one here, and have that consistent light across here. Again, you're going to get a lot of reflective light, so you don't need to light up a bunch of the landscape. In an area like this, what I would do is I would probably try and throw one accent light on this tree here, and then I would try and accent both sides of the window, again with some accent lights. So anytime you're doing that on a house, what you want to do is focus on getting those fairly close, only about 12 to 18 inches back, and then have them almost shining straight up, because you really want to catch the texturing of some of the brickwork. So maybe 3 of those in there, and then if you want to kind of light this pathway bit, what you could do is kind of stagger some path lights in there. So for example, if you have an accent light here, You might throw a path light here, you have an accent light here. You throw another path light here, you have an accent light here, and then you might throw one more path light over here. And then on the other side of the house, I would do the same thing with 2 accent lights on both sides of the window here. And then just to kind of round it out, you probably want to throw an accent light somewhere kind of more on this side of the tree so that your viewing angle is extended. So it's not just, it's going to look good from everywhere, but you looking at it from the front of the house, it's going to look good. But if you kind of put it on the side a little bit, you kind of extend that viewing angle around the side here a little bit more. So hopefully that makes sense. And then I would probably do the same thing on this side of the house here too. I would probably try and get, you know what I might do is just put 1 accent light in the middle here. Now I know you have these, and depending how much light they give, it might be enough. You might find you don't need anything else. I also found that, you know, you're not going to have these on all the time, so having that landscape light just gives that subtle feel to it. So what I would probably do is I'd probably try and just throw an accent light in the middle here, and then that's where I would maybe put, you know, 1, 2, and then 3, and then maybe 4 path lights kind of along this way. And if this, I'm just trying to see, and if this walkway keeps going around, then that's maybe where you use a couple more of those path lights. Just keep in mind, you know, that 8 to 12 foot spacing. So I think it's pretty easy to do. If you want us to come up with a kit that's got those lights on it and the transformer that you need, I think your runs are all more than safe. And then any of these larger trees, I mean, if you don't have to tunnel through the driveway, I forget, I think you said you might have a power source over here and a power source over here. If you can just run along the areas, and I know this might not be connected to the front, but it'll save you the hassle of trying to go under the driveway, which is tricky. But any of these trees, all you really need is just a standard accent light. These guys will do a great job with any trees that high. I don't think you need more than 1. You might throw 2 on some of these trees that are in front just to give them a little bit more accent. I would probably try and throw 1 on this guy here, and I would probably try and kind of do 1 on the mailbox, which is always kind of a cool look. And again, it just kind of helps light up this area. And I'm not too sure how far these trees are back in the yard, but if there's any that are fairly close and you wanted to light those up with some higher intensity accent lights, it's a cool look as well. But again, it depends how far back those are in the yard. If they're fairly close, I like having 1 or 2 high intensity accent lights on those, even just 2 of them, because what it does is the house is lit up nicely. You've got some trees lit up nicely in the front, and then it kind of gives you that back lighting effect back there. But again, if those are too far back, then it might not make sense, but just something to consider. So, and let me know if you have any other questions.
So another question I get asked all the time is, how do I get under a sidewalk? Now, the first thing I'll say is, whether it's a driveway or sidewalk, if you're doing any kind of concrete work, whether you think you're ever going to put in lighting or irrigation or whatever, put some kind of conduit under. Usually a piece of 2-inch PVC pipe or something like that, just so that you can slide wire, you can slide pipe, you can do any of that after the fact, because it is way more of a pain in the butt to do it after the fact. So just slide some kind of sleeving through. If it's a driveway, same thing, because you never know, and all the time people are limited by what they can do because they never put a sleeve in. So, but if it's after the fact and you don't have a sleeve and you need to get under a sidewalk, one of the things I'm going to recommend is something like this. So this is called different things, but it's called like a roto drill bit. You can go on Amazon. This is like a $15, maybe $20 drill bit. You can get a 24 or a 36-inch one, and basically it just goes in any drill, and you can just basically drill your way under. So we've already done this one, so I'm not gonna take the time here to actually do it, but basically all you need to do is dig back a bit of a trench and then just drill away. And if your sidewalk is more than 2 feet, you might have to drill, you know, halfway through on this side, and then do the same thing on the other side, and then just drill through on the other side, meet in the middle, and then you can easily slide your pipe through. We've tried lots of different methods. This is easily the easiest one that we've come across. And again, it's a $15, $20 bit. You can go on Amazon, Google or Amazon, and search yard butler, roto drill, and you'll find something like this. Easiest way to get under a sidewalk. Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video presentation with some great tips and tools on how to go and properly and effectively light up your landscape. And be sure, if you want your own free consultation video, just send me an email at cal@lightingdoctor.ca with a few pictures of your property, and we'll get back to you with some really cool ideas and ways to go and effectively light your property. And be sure to watch the videos after this one for more tips on how to install landscape lighting, as well as how to light up your landscape the best way possible.